Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of this upcoming episode, which is very, very late. Of course, I haven't been publishing for a very long time, and I don't know, I don't really have the reason because um, I've been trying to deal with several other issues, which I believe are much more important. So yeah, we're back again with another one. This is Cambridge 11. So the Cambridge 11, pretty much, this is test one, passage one, the crop growing skyscrapers. So yeah, I guess this is gonna be a fun thing to do. Anyways, we have a question, which is a sentence completion question, and then true false not given questions. Although the thing that I'm gonna do, however, most of the time when I just see these kinds of when I pretty much find the answers available on the passage itself, for the purpose of this video, we'll just go one after another and see if we can do anything about it. So first thing I'm going to do is, however, I will also try to show you the while I solve, and I'll just try to maybe once I find the question for this one, I guess I will find any maybe similar answers available for the question number 8. So methods for predicting the Earth's population have recently changed. This is the first thing that it's requiring for us. So some food plants, including something, are grown indoors. So all right, then we're going to do that. By the year 2050, nearly 80% of the Earth's population will live in urban centers, which means in these in the city, applying the most conservative estimates to current demographic trends. So this is a demographic trend is like something related to the population. So do we have anything related to the population? So vertical farms, methane, cut because. All right, we don't have necessarily anything about that just yet. The human population will increase by about 3 billion people by then. So by then it's referring to 2050. An estimated 109 hectares of new land, about 20% larger than Brazil, will be needed to grow enough food to feed them, if traditional farming methods continue as they are practiced today. Of course, it's a great clause here. At present, throughout the world, over 80% of the land that is suitable for raising crops is in use. Historically, some 15% of that has been laid waste by poor management practices. What can be done to ensure enough food for the world's population to live on? Okay, historically, some of the 15% of that has been laid to waste by poor management practices. Okay. The concept of indoor farming is not new, since hothouse production of tomatoes and other produce has been vogue for some time. All right, so this is the first thing we found: hothouse production of tomatoes. This is the first thing we want to underline for ourselves. So this is the I'm gonna take that. We have to write tomatoes, I guess. That's how we write that. There we go. Vertical farms would be located in a particular location. We were looking for a location here, located in, meaning that there would be less need to take them long distances to customers. So there has to be it has to be in a very particular location, so that the transportation takes less time. What is new is the urgent need to scale up this technology to accommodate another 3 billion people. Many believe an entirely new approach to indoor farming is required. So many believe employing cutting-edge technologies. One such proposal is for vertical farm. Vertical farm. Do we have that? Was it vertical farms? Vertical farms would be okay. It's fantastic. We found that the concept is of multi-story buildings in which food crops are grown in environmentally controlled conditions. Okay. Situated in the heart of urban centers, they would drastically reduce the amount of transportation required to bring food to consumers. Okay, so the concept is of a multi-story buildings. So it's a really good one. So I think it will be located in it would be located in urban centers. I guess this is urban centers. This is what we're gonna do with centers. There we go. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna make it a little bit bolder. Urban centers, and I'm not sure really why it's showing a error here. Okay, meaning that there will be less need to take them long distances to customers. So that means all right, so what do we have? Vertical farms, the concept of multi-story buildings, which crops are grown in environmental controlled conditions. Situated in the heart of urban centers, they would drastically reduce the amount of transportation required. There we go. We have the paraphrase required that we were searching for. And then next one, however, do we have anything related to this one? Methods for predicting the Earth's population have recently methods for predicting the Earth's population. And we really know that the Earth's population is about to increase. So all right. So nearly 80% of the Earth's population will live in urban centers. Now, an estimated 109 hectares of new land, about 20% larger than Brazil, will be needed to grow enough food to feed them. If traditional farming methods continue as they're practiced today, and what is it saying? Over 80% of the land that is suitable for raising crops is in use. Okay, however, the answer of whether or not the methods for predicting the Earth's population have recently changed. A way to forecast, to think forward, has necessarily changed or not is not mentioned. Is not really mentioned because it's just giving us the numbers that is to happen, or that is to reach like 80% by 2050. If I'm not mistaken for now. So I'm just gonna write not given for that reason. Human beings are responsible for some of the destruction to food producing land. For this reason, I think this is pretty much easy to say, but not really. Let's just go more. So vertical farms would need to be efficient, cheap to construct, and safe to operate. All right, this is what we want to know. Okay, let me choose that again. If successfully implemented, proponents claim vertical farms offer the promise of urban renewable, sustainable production of a safe and varied food supply through year-round production of all crops, and the eventual repair of ecosystems that have been sacrificed for horizontal farming. So, however, the question is, human beings are responsible for some of the destruction is not. I think I've found the question number 10. The crops reduced in vertical produced in vertical farms will depend on the season. So question number 10 is kind of false. It's not will not depend on the season, because here the question is asking about the season. However, here it says the concept of multi-story buildings in which food crops are grown. So multi-story, it means inside a particular building, and it's environmentally controlled conditions. And it says here is sustainable production of a safe and varied food supply through year-round production of all crops. Many people would see that year-round as a synonym for season. However, that's not the case. What's more, some damage to food crops is caused by climate change. We're not really sure about that. However, I think I missed number 9. So whether or not human beings are responsible. All right, let's just read a little bit more. It took humans 10,000 years to learn how to grow most of the crops we now take for granted. There we go. We use it, but we use it in a way that it will in a way that it will repeat itself. We will happen to get it again. We despoiled most of the land we worked on, often turning verdant natural ecozones into semi-arid deserts. That's a really good one. Semi-arid means with little water. However, ecozone is it's an area where there's a natural community of plants. So the answer for that is, I probably believe. Okay, it was stuck a little bit for now. So I think that's pretty much a true. There we go. Now, some damage for food crops is caused by climate change. So we answered, vertical farms could use methane from plants and animals to produce. For some reason, I'm doing true, false, and given for now. Some damage to food crops is caused by climate change. All right, let's read more. Within that same time frame, we evolved into an urban species in which 60% of the human population now lives vertically in cities. Okay, 60%. Okay. Now, we humans have shelter from the elements, yet we subject our food-bearing plants to the rigors of the great outdoors and can do no more than hope for a good weather year. However, more often than not now, due to a rapidly changing climate, this is not what happens. Massive floods, long droughts, hurricanes, and severe monsoons take their toll each year, destroying millions of tons of valuable crops. So the answer for that is, once again, some damage Some damage to fruit crops is caused by climate change. So yes, the answer is going to be true. Here we go. Fertilizers will be needed for certain crops and vertical farms. Fertilizers will be needed. All right. Then the supporters of vertical. I guess I just read it right now. Okay. The supporters of vertical farming claim many potential advantages for the system. For instance, crops would be produced all year round, as they would be kept in artificially controlled optimum growing conditions. There would be no weather-related crop failures due to droughts, floods, or pests. All the food could be grown organically, eliminating the need for herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizers. Eliminating the need. So the answer is going to be false for that. Another one. Fertilizers will be needed for certain crops and vertical farms. Is it? No. The answer is false. Vertical farming will make plants less likely to be affected by infectious diseases. Vertical farming, vertical farming will make plants less likely to be affected by infectious diseases. Okay. Right. The system would greatly, I think, the system would greatly reduce the incidence of many infectious diseases. I think we found another one that are required at the agricultural interface. Although the system would consume energy, it will return energy to the grid via methane generation from composting non-edible parts of plants. So non-edible parts of plants. That means I didn't want to do that. So what is the answer for this? I guess vertical farming will make plants less likely to be infected. So the answer is true. There we go. We did another one. However, vertical farming could use methane from plants. Vertical farms could use methane from plants. So I think what exactly the plants they're talking about? So vertical farms could use methane from plants and animals to produce what? All right. I just read the methane. However, here, where was it? I just lost it. However, interface methane. Where's methane? What was methane? I guess. Artificially controlled. Right. We just lost it somehow. I need to skim through really quickly. Okay, we found that. There we go. So so what? Could use methane from plants and animals to produce what? Although the system would consume energy, it would return energy to the grid via methane generation from combusting non-edible parts of plants. So it's like a return is like produce here. In this case, it's displaying. So produce energy, right? So yes, it's produced to produce energy. The consumption of something be cut. Would be. I'm sorry. There's a way. Would be cut because agricultural vehicles would be necessary. The consumption of something would be necessary. Okay, I'm not really sure about that as well. Let me read that quickly again. The consumption of something would be cut because agricultural vehicles would be unnecessary. This is what I want to find. All right, so it would drastically reduce fossil fuel use by cutting out the need for tractors, plows, and shipping. Okay, there we go. It would dramatically reduce the fossil fuel. There we go. We found another one. So the answer for that is going to be fossil fuel. There we go. Just found that. The fact that vertical farms would need something light is a disadvantage. I want to find the word disadvantage here. The fact that vertical farms would need a light is a disadvantage. It's a negative sign. I take there. All right. The major drawback of vertical farming, however, is that the plants would require artificial light. So major drawback is a disadvantage. So therefore, would require artificial light. Would need artificial light. Artificial. Is it correct way to spell it? I guess, right? One form of vertical farming involves planting something which are not fixed. Without it, those plants nearest the windows would be exposed to more sunlight and grow more quickly, reducing the efficiency of the system. Single-story greenhouses have the benefit of natural overhead light. Even so, many still need artificial lighting. A multi-story facility with no natural overhead light would require far more. Generating enough light could be prohibitively expensive unless cheap renewable energy is available, and this appears to be rather a future aspiration than the likelihood for the near future. Okay. So one form of vertical farming involves planting something which are not fixed. Plant what? One variation of vertical farming has been developed is to grow plants in stacked trays. Stacked trays that move on rails. So involves planting what? Okay, so planting stacked trays, I guess. Stacked trays, which are not fixed. The most probable development is that food will be grown on something in towns and cities. Towns and cities will be grown on what? Okay, then again, the system is already is in operation and works well within a single-story greenhouse with the light reaching it from the above. It is now certain, however, that it can be made to work without an overhead natural light. Vertical farming is an attempt to address the undoubted problems that we face in producing enough food for a growing population. At the moment, though, more needs to be done to reduce the detrimental impact it would have on the environment, particularly as regards the use of energy. The most probable development is that food will be grown on something in towns and cities. I want to find the towns and cities. All right. Will be grown in skyscrapers. Will be grown in skyscrapers. While it is possible that much of our food will be grown skyscrapers, most experts currently believe it is far more likely it will use the space available on urban rooftops. Okay, will be grown on urban. I guess the answer is going to be urban rooftops. Urban rooftops. There we go, guys. We just pretty much finished the passage 1, test number 1 for the Cambridge 11, and it was pretty fast thing that we have done. Although I noticed that the 8 and 9 they didn't come in order, as far as I can remember. So yeah, there we go, guys. We finished another series of the walkthrough. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave your question in the comment section below, and I'll be very happy to get back to of course, with a very prompt response to your request. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you of course liked it. Otherwise, leave a dislike if you didn't really enjoy it. However, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful time.